Seesmic Loop to be on Twitter, but I would love to have some thoughts about Seesmic Loop.
Thank you. So I probably don't need to tell this audience much more what the internet is doing in terms of changing how people communicate with brands. It's also changing how people relate to the news. There was once a time when the basic interaction between news and readers was just readership. And now that's changing so that readers are connecting not just up to brands, but across to each other. So they're sharing the news between one another, and I don't just mean that they're cutting out clips and sending it to their son. They send links. They send links through email and IM. They also react to the news. They react to the news by tweeting about it, by tweeting a link and adding an opinion. They also are getting into the narrative. One of the things that we're really focused on at the Huffington Post is figuring out ways where we can bring our community into the news itself. So one of our projects now is called a Move Your Money project. And the idea is that people may like to move their accounts, which may be in very big banks, too big to fail banks perhaps, to community banks.
Yeah.
And Twitter, it turns out, and Facebook as well, is a wonderful place to have that project exist. So, because people, there's a hashtag, Move Your Money, on every single piece of content where we write about the story and we keep the narrative alive. We have people who are interacting with the story, and so they say they can take a pledge, say, I'm going to move my money, or they can upload a video and tweet it about how they did move their money. So we're really excited about that from a news perspective, so that it's not just a one-way dialogue from media company to reader, but from one user just to another user.
Yeah.
The news may originate with us most of the time, but it doesn't have to. We take tips. We have an army of citizen journalists across the country. And this is a big part of that. We're really excited about this because we can easily get to a whole new layer, a whole new sort of broader audience who will get Twitter all over again. So with that, let me walk through some of the fun stuff we have here. So we've got a number of categories. Let me take you into our politics category now. One of the things that I'm really excited about with Seesmic Look is, to be a little bit geeky at the moment, is that it interposes a category level between something like a brand or a newspaper or an internet newspaper and the accounts themselves. Mm-hmm. So users can focus not just on their entire timeline, but something that's sort of analogous to a list, a Twitter list. So it's very fun for us to say, here's our presence in politics. So we have our accounts that correspond to our sections. So if you really want to dive into our politics, you can do that. Let's see here. Nico Pitney is a wonderful guy, our national news editor, and a wonderful tweeter. He was all over putting together our first list of tweeters about Haiti. So like I was sleeping and Nico was around and awake when the earthquake first happened in Haiti, and immediately put together this list. So he's so good. He's one of like our amazing, just sort of natural tweeters. Someone I absolutely do not need to train. I'm pretty excited about including our HuffPost Citizen Journalism account in Seesmic Look. We have editors dedicated to reaching out to citizens to report on anything from Tea Party protests to art openings in New York City, and this happens across the country.
Excellent.
So this is fun. Users of Seesmic Look can come here and see how people who are basically like them, normal people, interested in telling others in the world about what's going on in their world, are writing about. So let me show you others of ours. Let's do our tech and social media one. So again, I'm really excited about how we have a mix of our accounts. So we have our HuffPost Tech, and that's just really interesting links to our own articles and to other articles. This is Jose Antonio Vargas, is our wonderful technology editor. There's me. Paul Berry is our CTO at the Huffington Post, a wonderful CTO who's got actually an amazing presence on Twitter. He's a bit new to Twitter within the last year or so. But he's just a really engaging personality on Twitter. And one of the things I like about categories is that we can put the Huffington Post tech main account with mostly links to content in a space where we also have our editors who are just people. I don't remember what I was tweeting about yesterday, so I'm worried that I might have been a little too fresh. Here's another great example. I'm really happy with what we did with our business category. So again, we've got our main account here. We've got our two business editors. Shaheen is a wonderful business reporter. We actually just had the privilege of sitting down with Joseph Stiglitz, the Nobel laureate in economics, the other day. So there's like wonderful tweets about that experience from them over the last couple of days. Eric Capot, our CEO, is always fun to follow on Twitter. If you want to know about our latest ComScore numbers, Eric Capot, always the guy to go to. And at the same time, we can do this interesting integration with Move Your Money. So we've got our Move Your Money Twitter account as well. And all of this, again, lives in this business category. So anyway, I think that's a pretty good run through of our accounts. We really, really like how we can put together our vertical accounts and our editors in the same experience and have users follow that.
Thank you very much. And before you leave, Josh, we have, so obviously we let them edit the channel and customize it as much as they like. Again, this is all server-based. But what we do as well is we integrate some of that content into the interest directory, which we have here. So if you go, for example, in politics, you will see that Ariana Huffington is here. You will find the Huffington Post in the news as well. So the channels can have obviously links throughout the app. We can also, we're not doing it, but we can also, display a few Huffington Post tweets in the trends. Mm-hmm. This is just a beginning, of course. And we're very thrilled to have you on board.
That's right.
Thank you very much.